Alright, so I'm calling this lecture Playing with Polynomials. What is a polynomial? A polynomial is an expression that has more than one term, more than two terms, more than three terms, typically. So if I had an expression like this, 2x plus 1 plus 3x plus 5, as I've written it, this is a polynomial. Because it has more than three terms. What are the terms in this polynomial?
3x and 2x.
So 3x is one term, 2x is one term. What other terms do I have?
1 and 5.
1 and 5. What are the terms in this polynomial? What are my terms here?
3x,
3x,
7x, and then
seven
negative
x,
2,
and 6.
6 and
Negative 2.
negative 2. Good. So you guys see that when I have a minus sign, that's the same thing as a negative being added in my polynomial. What if I had this? 3x plus negative 2 plus 7x plus 11. Let's make it a little different. What are my terms in this polynomial?
3x, negative 2, 7x, and 11.
Yeah, very good.
They're just numbers now.
Yeah, it's just everything that's being added together is a term. Alright. So, polynomial means an expression with more than 3 terms. The reason we say more than 3 is because there's names. A monomial is an expression with one term. A binomial has 2 terms. And a trinomial has 3 terms. I like this marker. Okay. So today we're going to play around a little bit with polynomials. We're going to do a couple different things with these. Can I erase these?
Yeah.
Not the bottom.
Not the bottom? Alright, I'm just going to move over here. I think I'm still on the screen. So the first thing is to write a polynomial. Write a polynomial. So if I gave you 3 terms, or 4 terms, or 7 terms, I want you to write a polynomial using these terms. There's a lot of ways you could do this. What's one way?
Add.
3x plus 2 plus 7 plus
7x. Yeah, so this is one polynomial that I've written with those 4 terms. What's another one? Someone give me a different one.
Minus.
I can't minus because none of my terms are negative. But I could move them around.
7x
Yeah.
plus 4
Plus 7.
plus 3x
What?
minus 2.
I can't do minus because I have a... Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. So I'm just moving around my terms. Right? These are all the same thing. They all would be equal if we evaluated for x or something. Just different ways of writing them. Someone give me one more? One more way of writing them?
2
Nice.
plus 3 x
Has to be 3x. That has to stay as the term.
4x 4 plus 7x.
Yeah. So there's a lot of ways of doing that, right? Fairly straightforward, but you have to really understand what a term means to write these. And then the next thing I want you to do is to combine like terms in this polynomial. So now let's rewrite this and simplify it by combining like terms. What are we going to have? The first thing I might do is group them together, the like terms. So I might group my 3x and my 7x and my 2 and my 4. These are my x terms, these are my constant terms. Yeah, and then when I simplify this, I would have 3x plus 7x is 10x, and 2 plus 4 is 6. So this would be my simplified version. Okay. So first we're just taking some terms and writing a polynomial, then we're combining the like terms to simplify it. Now this is not really a polynomial, is it? It would be called a binomial now, because it has two terms. But it's okay. I kind of made up the title of this because I thought it sounded cool. Playing with polynomials. Yeah.
Does it matter how you write those three numbers? Will you still get the same answer?
Yeah, you would always get the same answer. Yeah, exactly. So if I had done like 7x plus 3x, I still would have gotten 10x. Right? Okay. So that's writing a polynomial. And the last thing I want to have you guys do is practice. What if I said, multiply this by -1? Multiply this whole thing by -1.
Negatives.
You have to remember the distributive property, yeah. So it's going to apply to every term. What would I get if I multiplied this by -1?
-7.
Negative
3x.
3x
Negative
minus
7x minus 2 minus 4.
Or, there's another way of writing this. Negative 3x plus negative 7x plus negative 2 plus negative 4. These are the same thing, right? This one kind of makes more sense for multiplying by -1, but this one is easier to write. So usually we go with this one. What if I had a negative? So what if I gave you a polynomial like this? 4x plus 3 minus 2x plus 5. And I said multiply through by -1. What would you get?
Negative 4x plus negative 3. Well, no, negative. Wait. I'm lost.
Negative 4x, so I multiplied that one. This one now.
Plus. Wait.
So there's two ways I could do it. I could do just -3, or I could do plus -3. We're going to usually just do -3.
-3.
Okay. Then we're going to do
Plus
2x
minus 5.
5. So if you look at it, we're just changing the sign on each one. When we multiply by -1, that's all it does. It just changes all the signs. So if I had and I asked you to multiply this by -1, what would you get?
Negative 8 x negative 8x plus 4 minus 9x plus 7.
Yeah. Do you guys see how that works?
Yeah.
Multiply by -1 basically just means change all your signs.
Oh, so you just turn it all into a negative.
If you think, I could write this out in really longhand. Watch. It would be like this. If I wrote this out, -1 times 8x minus -1 times 4 plus -1 times 9x minus -1 times 7. So all I did was I took my -1 and I put it before each term, multiplied. I kept my negative out front, right? I kept my minus sign out front. So I separated it from that term a little bit, but that's okay. -7, so minus -1 times 7. But then if you think about this, 1 times 8 is just 8. But a negative times a positive is a negative. Okay, now I'm going to go on to this one. Minus a negative is
A positive.
plus. Minus a negative means to add. And then 1 times 4 is just 4. Okay, negative 1 times 9 is just a negative 9, so I have plus negative 9x or minus 9x. Plus a negative is just the same thing as minus. And then minus a negative is, minus a negative means add, right? So I could write this as minus negative 7, but then I would turn this into a big addition. That's how we usually do it, right? So it's just plus 7. I think you guys can probably just go from here straight to here. You don't really have to write out all your negative 1 because you're multiplying each term times negative 1. Okay.
Bye.
Any questions?